One of the things we cover on this channel on a regular basis is the situation with Dover and the migrant boats that's still coming in. Things seem to be getting worse than worse, and I know that Priti Patel, as Home Secretary, has been saying that she wants to deal with it. The Border Force are struggling, and the biggest move is for the Home Office to send people back. And there's been a lot of issues with the woke liberal left-wing lawyers who are using a lot of legal loopholes thanks to the European Convention of Human Rights to stop these deportations. Now, Boris Johnson and Priti Patel are finally acting. They are planning to opt out of these kind of European human rights laws, at least aspects of it, which is good news because this is one of the things that we've been talking about when it comes to the relationship between the UK and the rest of Europe. And it's not just about the European Union, it's also about the European Convention of Human Rights. Even Theresa May, as a Remainer, was still against it. It's that bad. So the latest update we have is that Britain is preparing to opt out of major parts of the European human rights laws, risking an explosive new row with the EU. Obviously, as you just saw in the previous video, Boris Johnson is preparing to change the withdrawal agreement. The European Union are kicking off. Imagine this new battle. They're not going to be too happy about this. So Boris, his advisors, people like Dominic Cummings, and also other ministers are drawing up proposals to curb the use of human rights laws, because the judges have overreached in certain aspects. Now, the plans under discussion include opting out from the act, which could prevent many migrants and asylum seekers from using the legislation to avoid deportation. It also protects, obviously, British soldiers abroad and overseas. So this is actually good news. This is a lot of you have been asking, why is it that Priti Patel is struggling to send people back, the people who illegally enter the country? That's the main reason, and this is changing. People like Dominic Cummings have always been behind this. Even the article is now reporting that Dominic Cummings, their PM's most senior advisor, has previously attacked the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg for judgments based on the ECHR, blocking the deportations of obviously criminals. He's warned that voters would expect the jurisdiction of the European judges to end in the UK as part of the Brexit process. Now, that's slightly obviously separate to the way the European Union itself operates, but Dominic is absolutely right. It might not be directly linked to the EU, but it is definitely linked to the whole European project and the institutions that belong to Strasbourg and Brussels. So this is the first move that needs to be done in order for Priti Patel to be able to protect this country. Then the second move is obviously, as she has said, in terms of changing the national law with the arrangement that we have with the French to actually stop the boats before they come in, so we don't have to go through the whole hassle of a legal process to send the boats, well, send the illegally entered people back. Now, in this video, it's Monday. We have a lot of questions from the members of the channel on this issue, but also the latest update on Brexit. Let's go to the first question. So we have Judith asking, why do the likes of Blair, Major, Heseltine back Europe every time rather than their own wonderful country? What do they stand to gain to personally or perhaps lose? It must be... No, there are 4 pound signs related. I personally believe a lot of times with certain political figures or just public figures, especially when it comes to people like Blair and Major, unless you have evidence, I don't think it's necessarily just about money. It's there's an ideological battle. These people genuinely believe that if you back your own country, this is like nationalism on steroid, and it's a bad idea. That means you hate other countries. They think that in order for us to be open and welcoming, you have to be a globalist. It's just the difference of opinion gone too far, and they would do anything to ensure that their ideology is protected. Just like any other philosophers or politico who try to argue, or economists, for their ideas. And I think that's one reason. And yes, obviously they have interests in various areas, whether it's financially or politically, especially with Blair. Next question, A Swift says, why why the UK government didn't start. Why didn't the UK government, I'm guessing, start the negotiations with Australia, New Zealand, and Canada about trade? Now is the time, like they did with Japan. Actually, we have been negotiating with Australia, New Zealand, and Canada at the same time as Japan. We're also negotiating with South Korea and a number of other countries, and we are getting very close to fully signing these deals, especially with New Zealand and Australia. Japan just happened a lot quicker, but they've started the negotiations with all these countries at the same time. This is great news. We've been talking about Kanzuk on this channel. The important relationship is not just based on trade, but also defense cooperation and everything between the four countries. So this is actually important, but it is actually happening. So I'll keep you guys posted, but it's good news. Steve Page says, "Hi Maya, with the EU negotiators threatening exports from Great Britain to Northern Ireland prior to Boris raising the internal markets bill, do you feel, as I do, that the EU has already breached the terms of the withdrawal agreement in at least 2 sections, that we should actually tear up the withdrawal agreement and go no deal?" Yes, so I just did a video a couple of hours ago, which got posted on the whole John Major and Blair thing. It's about the European Union claiming that it's the UK breaking the international law. In fact, it's the European Union that are breaking the withdrawal agreement obligations. The main aspect was good faith. And if they are not actually negotiating in good faith and threatening to ban exports within our own country, between England and Northern Ireland, for example, then yes, they are breaching it, and we should completely. This is the whole point of what Boris Johnson and David Frost are doing, to expose the EU, to show their hand, and then, if need be, ignore the withdrawal agreement and leave without a deal. So yes, I agree, Steve. Greg Jackson, Maya, my 2-part question is this: what happens if the internal market bill goes through the Commons but is rejected by the House of Lords? And do you think the Conservative MPs who vote against the bill should have the whip removed? So the House of Lords can't technically reject bills. They can only send them back for amendments, and they usually use that tactic when, especially when there's hung parliament, or when they know that there is a way that if they send the bill back to the Commons, MPs could change their mind, because it's the Commons that has to completely reject it. Now, they know that Boris Johnson has the majority, so as long as Boris manages to win in the Commons with a good majority, then the Lords will find it completely useless and pointless to keep sending it back. So that's that. And the MPs, backbenchers, I don't think their whip should be removed. It's again, for the sake of any party, not just the Tory party. I don't really care about that. It's for the sake of any party and the unity of it. You can't just kick MPs out every time they vote against something that we don't like. Ministers, on the other hand, they definitely have to resign if they do vote against it. And there are a couple of ministers who have said they might vote against it. That's a different topic. But if you were to kick out MPs every time they vote against something, then there won't be anyone left in any party. Raymond Lee says, "Hi Maya. If some Conservative MPs vote against the bill, will their names be made known?" Yes, this will be public knowledge on the obviously parliamentary website. You could actually find out exactly which MPs have voted for or against or just abstained. So that will be known, and I'm sure a lot of media and press outlets will completely reveal the names. Clive Fletcher, last question. Hi Maya, with this dodgy alliance of the past failed prime ministers and current MPs and the revolt being signalled, do you think that the internal market bill could be... I don't think it will be completely stopped. I think there is a way that the Remainers in Parliament could technically block it, and we've had people like Geoffrey Cox and other big names coming out, and just now Sajid Javid has also said he's going to vote against it. Yes, if they could create a momentum inside the Commons, inside the Tory party, technically they might be able to just win by like 1 or 2 votes. But at this point, I think Boris still has the majority, because the Labour Party and Keir Starmer, the latest that we heard from them is that a lot of them might just abstain. So if a lot of the Labour front bench abstain, then that's going to help Boris Johnson and his cabinet. But it will be quite interesting to see how this goes. It's been a while since we had some drama in the Commons when it comes to Brexit, so all exciting things. This is obviously the members Q&A. Thanks to all the members who sent the questions. For everybody else, we do have the new segment, video Q&A. So you could actually send in your questions via selfie video. If you could send a 20-second max video, I'll basically answer them, and you could actually be on the channel yourself. All the information, because you could either send it on WhatsApp or email. You could find it in the description box. And obviously, if you want to get more perks and exclusive content, become a member and support the channel, and obviously get that. Again, you could find the details in the description box as well. I want to say a massive thank you again to all the PayPal people, all the people who sent donations via PayPal. Thanks, guys. It's thanks to you guys and the members and everyone that this channel could continue. Thanks again for watching. I was actually, quick update. I just said in the previous video that we're going to release the Lawrence Fox video tomorrow. Bit of a delay. We will release the video, I think, on Thursday. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next video.